Before I tell you this story, I need you to do me a favor. If you're listening late at night, maybe with headphones on or while riding home alone, don't pause halfway through. Because the story you're about to hear is based on something people in the Philippines have whispered about for decades. A voice that follows travelers home after midnight. And if you hear your name called from behind you on an empty road, you're never supposed to answer. The rain started just after midnight outside San Pablo. I had missed the last bus home, and the only thing still running was a nearly empty jeepney parked beside a closed convenience store. The driver stood outside smoking, while old music crackled through a tiny radio near the dashboard. I almost didn't get on. Something about the way he stared at me felt wrong. Not angry, just distant. Like he already knew something I didn't. Inside, there were only 3 passengers. An old woman clutching a woven bag, a hooded man asleep near the back, and a girl staring silently out the window while rain slid down the glass. Nobody spoke as the jeepney rattled down the dark provincial road. About 10 minutes into the ride, my phone lost signal. Then the old woman suddenly whispered, "Don't look behind you if somebody calls your name." I laughed nervously, thinking she was joking, but she never smiled. Her hands tightened around the bag while she stared at the floor. The driver stayed silent. The road stretched deeper into darkness. Then, somebody behind me quietly said my name. I froze. It sounded exactly like my younger brother. Same voice, same tone. But he was back home in Manila. I slowly looked toward the old woman. Her eyes widened immediately. She shook her head. "Don't answer it," she whispered. The voice came again, closer this time. "Hey, look at me." The hooded passenger still hadn't moved, but somehow I knew the voice came from him. The jeepney suddenly hit a pothole hard enough to shake the entire vehicle. The radio burst into static before dying completely. Now the only sound was rain hammering the roof and the engine growling through the darkness. Then the girl near the window spoke for the first time. "If it calls your name 3 times, it can follow you home." Nobody reacted like that sentence was strange. I tried laughing again, but my throat felt dry. "What is this, some ghost story?" The driver finally spoke. "No." His eyes never left the road. "It's real." The air inside the jeepney suddenly turned freezing cold. I could actually see my breath. Then came the third call. My name. Right beside my ear. I turned instinctively. The hooded passenger was no longer sitting at the back. He was directly behind me in the aisle, standing perfectly still. His hood hung low over his face while rainwater dripped onto the metal floor. Nobody screamed. Nobody moved. The driver slammed harder on the gas while the old woman started praying under her breath. Then the thing behind me smiled. Not a normal smile. Too wide. Stretching far beyond where a human mouth should have ended. And in the flickering reflection of the jeepney lights, I realized something worse. It had no eyes. Just empty black sockets staring straight into me while it copied my brother's voice perfectly. "Come home with me." The jeepney suddenly slammed to a stop. The doors flew open. The driver screamed one word. "Run!" I jumped into the rain so fast I nearly slipped onto the flooded road. The old woman grabbed my arm as we stumbled away, while the driver yelled for us not to look back. But the girl never came out. Neither did the hooded passenger. Then, lightning flashed across the highway. The jeepney was gone. No headlights. No engine. Nothing. Just an empty road disappearing into the storm. Before the old woman walked away, she looked at me one last time and said, "If somebody calls your name on an empty road after midnight, make sure the voice belongs to the living. And before you leave, tell me something in the comments. Have you ever heard your name whispered when nobody was there? Maybe while trying to sleep. Maybe while walking home alone. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe, because some roads are safer when you don't travel them alone.